final episode of the game. We're going through the Miu route, and it is very short. I think it's more of an epilogue to the game, if anything else. We're gonna go ahead and press start here. Okay, perfect. So this is what we're gonna do. Would we turn back time, or would we not turn back time? I think we would turn back time. I think we're gonna redo things a little bit differently than we did last time. I would turn back time. I resigned myself to this outcome, but now my resignation was gone. I tightened my grip on the pocket watch in my hand. And yet, no matter how hard I held onto the pocket watch, I couldn't bring myself to smash it against the ground. Something was stopping me. All I'd done up to this moment was stopping me. I'd used the power of the pocket watch for nothing but trivial things. But no matter how many of my own desires I'd indulged, the feeling gnawed at me that I couldn't do something to destroy another person's future. I just couldn't. It was really something utterly beyond the pale. Miu's perseverance and Shuji's iron will had been seared in my heart. Those respective qualities they had were pinning my arms down, and I felt grateful for those qualities. I don't need a special power to make decisions for myself. I don't need a special power to fix my mistakes. At this very moment, this very instant, I am standing here, and so, throwing away my will to change the past, I summon the will to change the future. Miu. Miu spun around on a dime as if she had been waiting for me to call out. The complicated expression she wore on her face laid all of her emotions bare. I'd released my grip on the pocket watch in my fist and reached out to grab something much more important. Her arm. Miu, I love you. Please go out with me. Just totally ruins her moment. Miu let out a bewildered gasp. Come on, Miu. Surely you could have given me a better reaction than that. My attention was so dead set on Miu that I didn't notice the pocket watch hit the ground with a metallic sound having fallen from my hand. I wasn't far enough fall to smash it, so time did not turn back, and yet... Uh-oh. We're getting all these memories flooding back in here. Having been distracted for a brief moment, my brain suddenly processed that I am still holding on to Miu's arm. I felt sweat dripping down the back of my neck. My body was burning up, but it wasn't the heat which pushed me forward. Tears welled up in her eyes. I gently smiled as a sliver of hope began to replace the shock on her face. In my memories of everything, everything was connected. Dang, so she's possibly harbored feelings for us this whole time. Back when everyone else's timelines had converged, of course my memories with Miu only would have been missing. This is the beginning, therefore this is the end. After finally becoming a man worthy of standing beside Miu, I returned to this point in time. Miu, I finally caught up to you. I made a promise. Miu repeated my words back at me in confusion. She still didn't quite understand what was happening. Before I could explain everything to her, I had to tell Shuji something. Shuji, forgive me. I can't just stand here and watch the girl I like confess to another guy. I blurted out the thought which had crossed my mind devoid of alteration. Shuji's eyes widened, but then my best friend just gave me a smile. He's like, I don't love her anyway, so you can have her. It is to me. Alright, fair enough. Shuji turned to leave, but then he stopped for a moment. Miu was torn as to whether she should pay attention to the guy who had her by the arm or the other guy who was talking to her. Normally I might have let her arm go so she could talk to him, but right now, I didn't want to let her go. Shuji gave me a wry smile. I am a dumbass, but I'm her dumbass. Did he just call me a dumbass twice in a row? Yes, he did. Of course I knew that thought was best left unsaid. Shuji casually waved us goodbye. Miu wasn't watching him leave, so he must have been waving to me. It was as if he were saying, take care of her, dude. So I nodded back as if to say, I will. So Shuji left for real this time, the large heavy door swinging shut behind him, and I only knew it had closed from the sound. Miu and I were staring intensely at each other. Is this gonna be one of those, like, technically, at the start of the game, you were on the Miu route the whole time? What's wrong with you?
さっきの石田先輩のレイ先輩への評価ってどこかで聞いたことがある話でしたね。
Yeah, you think so? Ah, jeez. The first time I say Miu, I did indeed end up saying something very similar to what Shuji just said about me. You know, when he was talking about me being back there, I felt like he wasn't complimenting me at all.
ちゃんと褒められてましたよ。
You think so? So then what's your answer?
答え
Miu giggled and cocked her head to the side. Come on, she's not going to make me believe for a second she forgot about the confession I just made to her. She must be teasing me. I certainly made her wait for a long time for this. Miu, I love you. Please go out with me.
レイ先輩、顔真っ赤。
I will not be saying that a third time.
もっと言ってくださいよ。
Well, third time is the charm, Ray. You might as well. I refuse.
いいじゃないですか。減るものじゃないですよ。
It'll hurt me right here in my chest.
言ってくださいよ。
My
レイ
pride.
先輩、
I absolutely
いい
refuse.
じゃないですか。ね。ね。ね。
Yeah, just say it, Ray. Stop being stupid. You already know you love her. You're gonna say it a third time, if she wants you to. Miu, I never knew you could get this excited over something.
だってこんなに嬉しいこと生まれて初めてで。
That's when I pulled Miu into my embrace. Whoa, my guy, he's just going for it. He's just going. Her body was so light it was easy to pull her into my arms and kiss her. Her lips, her cheeks, her whole body. Miu felt so warm and soft, and her girlish scent was overwhelming. Okay, well, don't make her run out of breath. You don't want to kill her. Miu was so surprised that she struggled against me for a moment, but I held on to her. But then as Miu finally seemed to process what was happening, she moved closer and wrapped her arms around me, returning my own embrace. I felt her lips moving like she was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't ready to let her speak right now. This kiss was one of such overwhelming joy that seeped so deeply into my heart that I never wanted to let her go. Miu finally seemed to wordlessly accept my kiss. To be perfectly honest, I wanted to try using my tongue, but for my first kiss with her, that felt kinda... what harm could it do? Oh my gosh, she's just going for it. But would it be alright? Why was I thinking about this? If it was far from the right time or atmosphere to be thinking about such things, but I also knew this long, wistful saga of mine was finally...
そのまま繁殖行為でもするか?
Don't worry about it. I mean, this roof has already seen quite a bit of nudity, so it wouldn't be a surprise. At that unexpected voice, I completely lost my composure. Crow, of all the times... He pushed me away so I wouldn't cough in her face. Sorry. He was blushing, evidently still trying to gain her composure because I wasn't sporting her weight anymore. How could someone be so adorable? No, Crow, of course not. This is just like the culmination of everything that's happened in this game. The thing that happened at the start, we're just finally getting to here at the end. Nah, don't worry about it. Going to Crow, I held my hand up her as if to say, not now. Totally forgot. If Crow had been watching my confessional this time, then she's going to be laughing at me for sure. Though in this timeline, I suppose Crow isn't human, is she? Even if I understood how the me of right now is different from the me of all that time before, it still is quite a strange feeling. When Miu finally got her grip on reality back, she was staring at me in a daze. What for, indeed? I just told you I'm not going to say it a third time. Well, good, I'm glad. Oh yeah, what would that be? What did I say that was wrong?
輩のことが好きです。大好きです。大大好きです。私はあなたの彼女にしてください。
Of course I will. Oh, yeah, we're back to kissing again. They really just wanted to use the CG a second time, huh? Then we kissed again. July, summertime. On that day, standing on the rooftop, the one place in all the school reaching closest to the sky, I found somebody to love. Just need somebody. Yeah, that's how we end it. That was short. Nope, we're gonna skip that. And then, even after our happy ending, summer moved on. Well, nothing that important happened. Life was good. Correction, life was too good to be true. One could say we were madly in love.
じゃあ、レイ先輩が美咲ちゃんや誠先輩とお付き合いしている別の世界があるんですね。
Imagine how embarrassing this is, like, kind of like cucking your new girlfriend. Like, yeah, actually, I've been with all of my best friends around me. Except for Shuji. That one seemingly was hinted at, but never happened, to my knowledge. But, you know, all the other girls, I've been with them. Not weird at all. Having told me about the other timelines I've been through, she sounded quite impressed. Though, Mio, I think, is probably one that would be kind of understanding. She'd probably find it, as we're seeing right now, more fascinating than anything. We're spending our free time on the roof. As always, Miu made lunch for me earlier today, in accordance with my request to be able to eat the first homemade lunch she ever made for me as her lover. Kind of weird, it's like there's multiple different versions of me, yet they're all still the same person as me. I rubbed my belly and lazily nodded. The lingering deliciousness of the lunch Miu made for me earlier was still in my mind. The quantity, taste, and care put into it were all perfect, filled me with satisfaction. But I still had all the memories from those other times, I didn't want to hide from you.
レイ先輩のことだけど、私の目の前にいるレイ先輩のことじゃないって理解できてると思います。
Yes, other versions of me have been together with the other girls. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. I had a feeling she would handle this revelation smoothly. She had expressed her interest in the matter in the other timelines as well, after all.
存在の揺らぎを直接観察できるなんてありえないことですからね。すごいな。そうなった時の脳の活動って一体どうなってるんでしょうね。
Oh gosh, Miu, you should join the game Steins Gate. You should make a cameo in that.
記憶や思いには形がないようにイメージされがちですけど、物理的なへこみでなかったとしても、どこかに保存はされていないとおかしいですもんね。重なった状態なら意識そのものも量子化してるんでしょうか。あ、電気信号みたいに無線でもつながっていれば、その場に実体が伴ってなくてもいいのかな。
You were thinking about this way too much.
レイ先輩が起点になっていたということは、レイ先輩そのものが観測者としてみんなの意識を決定していたのかもしれませんし。
But this is really on brand for Miu. She overthinks things.
もしかしたら私たちの考える神様よりももっと工事の何かが観察していてくれたのかもしれませんね。
Yeah, could be. I smiled at Miu while quietly listening to her talk. There was nothing I could say after all. I hadn't the foggiest idea what she was talking about. Chronos had intended for Crow to act as an intermediary when she communicated with humans, but perhaps Miu would have been able to communicate directly with Chronos somehow. She would be able to understand her thought process. Well, either way, it was nice to see Miu this happy while she indulged in her curiosity. I wanted to be together with her forever, so I'm glad I didn't keep this from her.
とはいえ、よほど気軽に打ち明けたものだ。
I floated down to wherever I could see her. It isn't of any concern to you if the other people know about your existence, right?
ない。そもそも今まで我が輩のことを隠していたのはお主の都合であろう。
I guess so, but you were pretty cute in another timeline yourself, Crow.
人間として生きる我が輩の話は興味深いが、それこそ今の我が輩には関係のないことだ。
Well, yeah, that kind of had to happen for the story, but it's kind of sad that she doesn't remember any of it. Doesn't it seem mysterious to you? I expected her to try to assert her authority when I brought up the topic, since that timeline was the only one where I was in a position of power over her. However, Crota shrugged her shoulders without a care in the world.
我が輩の認識からすれば、自己を一つのものとしてしか認識できないお主らの思考が不自由だがな。
Yeah, I wish I could just shove that parfait down your throat right now.
今クロさんがいるんですね。
Me looked around trying to figure out who I was looking at and talking to. Yep.
こんにちは、クロさん。こちらの声が聞こえぬのなら、挨拶に意味はなかろう。
Yeah, that's been kind of a buzzkill, but then again, we already knew you were from that little ending we just experienced not too long ago. Crow says hi too. I translated Crow's word in a more tactful way to Mio.
まあよい。我が輩もご主人の話に興味があったが、大体のことが分かって満足した。
Then quiet down for a while.
我が輩にイチャイチャしているところを見られていると、ご主人は恥ずかしいらしいしな。
It was embarrassing, hence why I chose not to respond. Crow grinned as she floated up to a slightly higher altitude.
どんな話をしてるかはレイ先輩の言葉でなんとなくわかりますけど。
She's just filling in her head what Crow's saying.
見えない人を探すのはちょっとみちるちゃんの気分ですね。
Yeah, Michiru has that problem sometimes too, since she tries to determine their position from the direction of their voice. Sometimes she'll end up looking the wrong way while talking to them. I kept up the conversation as casual as could be. In all honesty, now that I finally found a girlfriend, Crow's existence can certainly be a pain in the ass sometimes. If I wanted to do something with her, something or other with her, I could never be completely sure when Crow might pop up and ruin the mood. Well, putting that aside, your lunch really was delicious. I rubbed my belly appreciatively.
ちょっと量が多かったでしょうか。
I guess so. I didn't want to waste any of the food you made, but next time it'd be nice if you went a little easier on my stomach.
今日は自分でも作りすぎちゃったのは分かってたんです。
Yeah, and the friggin' heat in Japan, it's not like you can just save it for later.
その初めてのお弁当でレイ先輩に喜んでほしくてついあれもこれもって。
Well, it still made me happy, so it's not a problem or anything.
ありがとうございます。
In any case, I'll just have to deal with it until lunch break is over. Despite acting like I was perfectly fine, my stomach had actually started to hurt more as time passed. I sat down on the ground. Never would have thought the prospect of putting on weight would be such a happy thought to me. Yeah, it's good to gain a little weight, especially if you're really skinny. Like, I was super skinny when I was younger. I definitely needed to put on like 10 or 20 pounds, but now I put on like way too much. Way too much. Seeing like that, Mia let out a strangely absent-minded voice. What's wrong? No, wait, you really don't have to worry about me.
どうしても気にはなっちゃいますよ。
Mia circled around behind me as she spoke, and as I wondered what she was doing, she grabbed my shoulders from behind and pulled me back. Oh? I let Mia do whatever she was doing, and soon enough I felt my head being propped up on something. There we go. That's where it's at. I saw Mia's face in the blue sky above me. Below me, I felt something wonderfully soft in the back of my head, and my nostrils were filled with a lovely floral scent. Lap pillow! In this episode, a Bluey is called Lap Pillow. Mia was surprised by my sudden explanation.
苦しそうだったからなんですけど、嫌でしたか？
I couldn't dream of not liking it, thank you very much.
敬語なんですね。
This is like every Japanese man's dream, is the lap pillow and a boob pillow. I was just surprised, alright?
突然思いついちゃって。
Man, even about this sort of thing, you're still sharp as a tack. I was constantly surprised by how Mia had started proactively holding my hand and showing her affection. I didn't expect her to adapt to her new role as my girlfriend so quickly. Normally I'm the type to surprise other people, not vice versa. I started to dote on Mia more than anyone else, except maybe Michiru.
私も膝枕なんて初めてでわからないんですけど、頭の位置とか首とか大丈夫ですか？
No problems here, I'm happy as can be. To tell the truth, Mia's thighs were a little harder than I expected. That was probably just because she was young and had some more growing to do. That didn't matter to me, though. Anyone who complained about such a trivial thing in the situation ought to get trampled to death by a unicorn. Now then. Actually, I'm a lot bigger and heavier than you are. Doesn't my head feel a bit too heavy for you?
お昼休みの終わりくらいまでなら、とりあえず大丈夫です。
So, it really was heavy. I thought about getting off of her at that point, but I figured that refusing her generosity would be kind of rude. Yeah, that's how I would explain it to myself too. That's how I would make it seem like it's less of a big deal than it is. Besides, I didn't really want to get up. Yeah, scratch that.
これ耳かきがあればよかったですね。
Oh gosh, we're gonna do that. Next time.
何度？
I'll let you do it. I couldn't help but dote on her.
わかりました。
Feel like giving Kana's route right now. Miu smiled happily. Ah, it was such a pleasant feeling. I ended up reflexively yawning at a weird time.
レイ先輩、
What is it?
好きって言ってください。
I love you.
私も好きです。
At that point, Miu lifted her head up and bent over to bring our faces closer together. Oh no. It's the giant forehead. It's gonna crush me. She kissed me on the forehead. It was just a light touch, but it didn't even make a sound. Oh, did she just lick us? What the hell? Feeling a strange sort of pleasure from the lewd, moist feeling on my face at that moment, I reflexively let out a yelp. Without a doubt, I had just been licked. My heart skipped a beat, but then I looked at Miu. I saw Miu's genuinely happy smile for what was quite possibly the first time. Miu continued to shower gentle kisses on my face, my forehead, my eyelids, my cheeks, the tip of my nose. With little remnants of surprise I still felt were soon overwhelmed by my simultaneous feelings of joy. A rain of kisses. Naturally, there would be no need for an umbrella. Thanks, Ray. Thank you.
レイ先輩、好き。好きです。
This sounds like this is an H scene right now. Her affection was straightforward and unabashed, and she had no reason to hide her feelings anymore. Oh crap, I'm getting too excited. No, it'd be weird if I didn't get excited right now. And I wanted the mood for our first time to be a little bit better than this, for Miu's sake, of course. Ah, what the hell, might as well just go with a wholesome mood for now. Miu, hold still.
What?
Miu looked at me blankly, just like she did, but she did as I said. I lifted my head off of her thighs and stood up. And then... I hate this. I hate this so much. It makes me look like a little kid. She looks so small compared to... It looks like a father playing with their, like, 10-year-old daughter. And then Crow just sitting there in the background. My excitement at a fever pitch. I held Mia and my arms lifted up towards the bright blue summer sky. Felt like I could carry her all the way back to the first-year classrooms this way. Mia screamed of fright as I spun around like a merry-go-round, but the fright in her voice was soon replaced with laughter. I'm gonna make you happy, Miu. I'm sorry, I had the worst thought pop into my mind. This is probably supposed to be like a happy, wholesome moment, and I'm just over here like, wow, she looks like a child. And my next thought was, I wonder if he's gonna throw her off the roof. He's like, you know, this hasn't happened yet in this timeline. Yeet! Oh, I'm so sorry for having that thought at the end of the game. That's probably ruined someone's mood. They're like, wow, Justin, I can't believe you just said that. I'm gonna make you even happier. Oh, are you? Alright already, I'll just have to make everyone happy in one fell swoop then. Under summer's blue sky, I made a new promise. From that moment on, TikTok. TikTok. Can we not mention TikTok? You know, I would be fine if TikTok just disappeared one day. We should just replace it with Vine again. This is the conclusion, but not the end. The hands of time will continue to turn. Even when the magic spell in Cinderella broke, this was not the end of her story. Every second, every minute, every hour, day, month, and year, a whole new world which no one can foresee unfolds before our eyes. A whole new world. Future is a world of endless possibilities. And so we'll face it with a smile, for our summer has only just begun. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Happily ever after indeed. There we go. Guys, I have seen the ending. I've seen it. Finished ChronoClock. And I know the first thing that's gonna be commented now that I finished it. When are you gonna play Happy Minded? When are you gonna play, what is it, Amatsumi Something like that. You guys are just gonna ask, when am I gonna play the next Purple Software game? Well, I am playing Happy Mayor next, so, or Happy Mayor. Is it Happy Mayor or is it Happy Mayor? Yeah, something like that. I know you guys are really excited about that. I'm also playing Clockwork Leyline. That's coming up too. There we go. We've seen the Mio ending, guys. And I did switch the little home screen here to Mio. I think that was fitting that we were going to be finishing our route, and I should have that on there. Anyways, guys, I've beaten the game. I've gone through everything in ChronoClock. Thoughts? I think I've kind of said everything. I kind of said everything that I felt at the end of Makoto's route and then at the end of Crow's route. I feel like I've kind of given my thoughts, you know? I feel like I've done that already. I'll just kind of repeat maybe some things I said. I think all the main routes were kind of okay. I think they were all good. You know, I wish at times they could have been better. There was things I did and didn't like about them. Let's see. What do I think of the routes? Let's go in order. I'm gonna press start, so maybe this will just like stop going into that thing where it tries to show the little introductions. Anyways, so what do I think of each of the routes? Let's go starting with Miyazaki. I think Miyazaki's had, I don't know, I actually disliked hers probably the most of all the routes, surprisingly, more than I thought. I liked getting to see different sides of Misaki, but like some of the charm that Misaki had, I felt like was more prominent in the other routes where she kind of like likes us, but like doesn't want to admit it. I feel like once we got to the point where we were kind of like, I don't know, getting closer and she still wouldn't admit it till the end of her route. I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know, I felt kind of blue-balled by the whole thing. And then it really was more of a focus on her violin concert than anything else and trying to like help her break out of her shell. I'm not saying it was a bad route. It was just, it was pretty tame compared to the other ones. And then we had Michiru's. Michiru's was pretty interesting. Little Michiru certainly made that route entirely different. It gave it a different flair to it. I think Michiru's route was very fitting of Michiru. So I'll say for the character, I think it was really well done. And then Michiru still gets a lot of time in the other routes anyways, so I know a lot of you guys like Michiru. So I will say I did like the route a lot, but I also wouldn't say it was my favorite either. And then we had DD's. DD's I actually thought was way better than I thought it was going to be. I noticed, I don't know, some people don't really like DD's route or didn't like the ending or whatever. I could agree with the people that didn't like DD's route, but at the same time, I actually really liked it as well. I wasn't never a huge fan of DD's character with the broken English and things like that. But overall, I think her route was fun. I think it was just a good, wholesome route, right? I mean, there was the moments with her dying. I mean, I'm not saying that's wholesome, but it all worked itself out in the end. I don't think it was really anything special, but at the same time, I enjoyed it. Makoto's route was interesting because it kind of fed into Crow's route too a little bit, which I thought was interesting to say the least. I mean, they all kind of did, but Makoto's I feel like kind of stood out because it was with the watch and she like was getting all scary again. I didn't like that. Her route was definitely unique. I think at some points it was really, really good, and at some points it was okay. But then again, I could say that about any of the routes. And then Crow's route, the best by far. Crow's route was certainly the culmination of everything that happened before then, and something I really enjoyed. And then Miu's route there at the end was good. I don't know. I felt like the love just kind of happened, I would say. I think it was fine, but then again, I think it was kind of weak too at the same time. I kind of felt that about a lot of the romances. I felt like they kind of just had a few events. They were very stereotypical, and then they just kind of fell in love, and things happened. But I would say Crow's probably the best, I think, because Crow already had kind of a relationship with him and never was a romantic interest, and then it kind of turned into one. I would say it was probably one of the better romances, but that's just me. Anyways, guys, though, I'm going to stop dragging this on. I just wanted to give you guys a quick recap of some of my thoughts about the game. I think overall it was good. I think it's a game that I would have a hard time replaying, especially knowing everything now. I don't think I could see myself ever doing that. I think it's a good one and done type game. And I'm going to be moving on to some other fun ones, hopefully. So anyways, guys, I really appreciate anybody who's joined me on this ChronoClock journey. I really thank you guys for recommending it to me. I did enjoy it, and it was worth the time I put into it for sure. With that being said, I am going to be starting Happy Mayor, which is by the same company that did this one, so there should be kind of some of the similar humor, and hopefully I'll enjoy that one even more than this one. Let's just say that. I want to go for higher expectations. Anyways, guys, I shall see you then. Have a good one.